Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. You are tuned in to the Vitamin D with Dawn Dai podcast, and I am your host, Dawn Dai, here to get you excited about your life so that you can live life on purpose and for a purpose. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome. Vitamin D, it's a pun of my name. My name is Dawn, and you get vitamin D from the sun, so I'm here to shed light into your life. And I do this with inspirational insights and conversations with celebrities and everyday people like you and me. Because if you want to be better and you want to do better, then you're going to have to be able to see better. So join me on this journey of living our best lives and understanding and realizing how you are your greatest asset. Communicate, communicate, communicate. I can't tell you how important it is to communicate. I think sometimes we forget that. We forget how vital communication is. And it's just like, God, dog, you just got to open your mouth and say something. That's it. And the thing that I feel like is so important about communication is that the ultimate communication is the communication with ourselves. I say that because you ever heard people say that we are spiritual beings having a human experience? Well, think about it. You know, we have these dreams, these aspirations, this godlike ability to have this intuition that comes to us, right? You know, we see it sometimes like, oh, we've been somewhere before, been able to predict something, dream about something that's out of this world, or perhaps even manifestation. And then we have our physical self that's actually on this realm, this world, like walking and talking and breathing and transforming and all that kind of great stuff. And I feel like when we talk about communication, I feel as though once we can get to the point where our spiritual self is in communication with our physical self, oh my gosh, what can't be possible? And I think we practice that when we talk about affirmations, when we talk about getting control of ourselves. I think that's what that's about. When we can get in tune and that part of discernment, that part of listening, that part of understanding, that part of peace, you'll be able to understand why certain things are happening in this realm that are not happening in the spiritual realm and vice versa. There's understanding of how you move, but more importantly, understanding with yourself. And then when we talk about why we're here as a people, you can have great communication with other people. So I implore you to communicate, communicate, communicate. Express who you are. Say how you feel. It's important, not only to whomever you're communicating with, but also with yourself. Be a representation of who you are and what it is that you want to say. Speak your truth, even if your voice shakes. You'd be surprised who's listening. Heck, it may even be you. And when we get to that point of listening even to ourselves, you start to understand what's for you, what's for the betterment of for you, and what's not. Because remember, what doesn't serve you doesn't deserve you. And that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about how man's rejection is God's protection.
Get your vitamin D right here with me and get excited about your life.
Well, hello there. It's Dawn Dai here, checking in from Los Angeles, California. I'm in my multi-million-dollar studio. You know my closet. Jeremiah is here. I'm not going off the rails too much. Or at least he's going to make sure I don't go too far. But you know, we're in this mode. We're working on getting this together, working on these dreams, ensuring that when I come here and I talk to you, I feel like we just talking. It's just me and you getting to know each other. I know you based on if you following me, where you following from. Heck, if you reached out to me on social media, what up though? That's what we say in Detroit. So what up though? But yeah, that's what we're doing. We're infiltrating content, transitioning with setting up some time for photos to do rebranding, also with logos. So it's going to be popping and we're getting it together. And the thing that's so crazy is that you're in this part of it with me. Like, one thing about me, and I said this before in some other episodes, is that I'm an advocate for speaking life. I have life tatted in my mouth. Proverbs 18:21, life and death are in the power of the tongue. That is what I go by. And I said, I'm going to be bigger than Oprah. I said, I'm going to take this to the moon. I'm going to take it to the stars. So despite the fact that I'm standing in this closet, dog, I got hangers in the front and the back of me, I'm still not going to lose sight of the vision. You know, and I think there are sometimes things get in our way as distractions that can really cause us to lose sight of the vision. And what I mean by that, you know, quotes speak out to me. Lyrics, quotes, words, that's like my thing, as well as numbers. But I was reminded of something. You ever heard someone say, or you ever heard the quote, man's rejection is God's protection? Sounds familiar, right? But when you heard it, or looking at it, or just hearing me say it right now, to really understand what that means and what that looks like. Because sometimes I think we just get caught up in what we want, but not really looking at the bigger picture, hence the vision of it all. And you know, for I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future. I've been saying that Jeremiah 29:11 a lot here lately, because I think sometimes we can get lost or we lose focus on where we're going. And oftentimes God allows what it views to us as a no, rather than a not yet, or I have something better in mind. We get discouraged and we forget that everything is happening for our greater good. So why is it that we get caught up in wanting something that does not want us? And here, check this out. What I mean by that is that it's not flowing right. The vibe is off. The energy is off. And I said this on a previous episode. You know the truth by the way that it feels. How can we tell things that are feeling, right? The vibration, the movement of it, right? An old friend, I came across this post on Facebook, said in celebration of his solar return, his birthday, said, the biggest lesson I've learned this year is to not force anything. Conversations, friendships, relationships, attention, love. Anything forced is not worth fighting for. Whatever flows, flows. What crashes, crashes. Again, man's rejection is God's protection. And when I think about flowing, I really have been saying, because I said, hey, Dawn, we really need to operate in this discernment. I can't think of the story right now, but I'm just reminded of the story where I'm going to say pilgrimage, but the journey in the Bible where they were going around for like 40 years and God kept sending the signals to be like, you're on the right journey. But guess what? The distraction causes you to miss things, you know? And when we think about flowing, at least for me, when I think about flowing, I think about water. You know, water is such a powerful element. In fact, you know, my house is going to be about the water. Yeah. Or we're going to at least have a view of it. Like I can see right now, like I'm in my pool right now, and I can see the whole ocean, right? And it's like infinity, like I'm there. Either that or, you know, I'm talking about my yacht, but it's surrounded by water. I say all this to say because water relaxes me, but water flows. And also water lets you know that there is life. Heck, we're 80% water, right? And I'm like, well, let's be like water. Like, allow it to peacefully move. We hear it all the time, peace, be still, but we get so caught up in what we feel like we want, what we feel like we need, rather than just feeling like what's supposed to be. And understanding that if something is not working, that it's happening and working for your greater good. You ever even find yourself getting caught up with the same type of people? Get caught up in the same type of situations. And you're like, dang, why do I keep doing this? Because it's something that you have to get. It's something that you keep running this distraction that has to do some development. But then it comes to the point is like, where do we look from? Where do we grow? Because oftentimes I think we face situations and face certain people because we're experiencing the 2.0 version. And when we get so distracted about trying to gain somebody's attention, about trying to achieve or acquire a situation that does not serve in the betterment of us, that just takes us off of time on our track. Again, man's rejection is God's protection. I don't know about you. I'm just not trying to fight like that. I want to live a peaceful and free life where I can move and be me. I was talking to a friend today. And they were telling me about somebody that they were dating, or I shouldn't say dating, kind of like somebody that was there to help them. And then they noticed that the actions of the behaviors of somebody or this individual seemed as though that they had liked them more than just a friend and wanting to support. So my friend is like, well, Dawn, you know, what should I do? Should I communicated with them. I said, hey, I'm not interested in you that way. But there's still something inside that says, hey, this individual wants more. And I said, well, here's the thing. The fact of whatever it is that you feel that doesn't feel right, that's the key indicator. And as I'm working on my level of discernment, I need to get used to that feeling. I want you to get used to that feeling. I don't know about you, but I don't want to waste time. I don't want to rob myself of my joy. You know, when we get so caught up in wanting something that doesn't want us or forcing something, we're taking away time for the things that do deserve us, right? So I told my friend, I said, the fact that you feel any type of discontent of maybe this individual is liking you more than you like them, or maybe liking you in another type of way, or perhaps you know that you aren't in the right space to receive them. When do we take the accountability upon ourselves to distance ourselves, to realize that whatever that friction is, whatever that thing doesn't feel right, perhaps it's not for us. And it doesn't mean that anyone's bad, and it doesn't mean so right. It's just stop forcing things. What they say, 𝘋𝘢𝘪𝘯, what will be, will be. Right? You know, I spent a lot of years, a lot of time, a lot of sleepless nights. Heck, even this little transition period right now of just longing or wanting or trying to get some understanding of something that's not for me. And it's like, I can put that energy in so many other things. There's so many other places that you can put the energy in that oftentimes we aren't doing an inventory check to see what we're putting our energy in. Man's rejection is God's protection. What are you going after that doesn't want you? Could you imagine if you're taking steps towards the person or the situation or the opportunity that does deserve you? When it's not working out, find something that will. It doesn't mean that you're changing the course of path, but realizing that if you're having to force something and it's not for you, so to speak, because it's not flowing, can you imagine? Wait. You're forcing this and it feels so good when it's wrong. Can you imagine when it feels so good when it's right? Huh? Can you imagine? You know what this addictive feeling of, oh, I need to call her. Oh, I need to go try to force this job. Or, oh, I'm staying in this job too long in this relationship and it's not working, forcing it, right? Imagine what it feels like when it's right. I want it when it's right. I want it when it feels good. That's the life. And I say, how you do anything is how you do everything, right? Well, if I'm in a space where I'm unable to get my level of discernment to know what's for me and not for me, whether it be a relationship, whether it be a job, what does it look like when it comes to that multi-million-dollar deal? You know, I talked about it on the previous episode about non-negotiable. You got to understand what are the non-negotiables in your life, because when you find yourself chasing after everything, what does that say about the value of yourself? When you find yourself trying to force situations, what does it say about the value of yourself? Do you open yourself in a situation to receive abundance? Do you open yourself up to a place of prosperity? Do you open yourself in a situation to be loved? Do you open up a space where it allows you to say, hey, I'm grateful for who I am? Do you open up a space to say, I walk in my confidence, and my confidence is dictated on how I value myself and not what I'm associated with, not who I'm with, what I'm wearing on my body, or what I'm doing. It's just because I am me. Yeah, I know it's easier said than done. Hell, half the time we wouldn't be stressed out if that were the case. But I guess it's just a reminder, and I want you to be reminded. You know, I was talking to Jeremiah before we got into my multi-million-dollar studio, and I said, well, how you doing? He said, I'm happy. He said, you know, I really have gotten a good way of balancing with working with you, as well as, you know, he's working with iHeartMedia now. And he was like, I'm really just finding my way. And he was telling about this awesome podcast and was talking about the importance of manifestation. And, you know, I posted this up on my social media about being mindful of the words that you use, because the spirit knows no difference. And previously I had sent him over a video with Joel Osteen talking about bless up and speaking these positive affirmations over your life. So as he was telling me about this conversation, I believe it was on the Laverne Cox podcast, about the importance of manifesting and how when you can program your mind to get so much so that your body becomes accustomed to it, your body allows. So I charge you, when you're putting your energy in things that are not for you, what are you charging your body to want to acquire, to appreciate, to value? Versus when you put your time and your energy of manifesting the things that are right for you, rather than longing after this specific person, whether longing after a specific job or this specific outcome, why not after what it is that you choose to feel, what you want it to be like? Allow the right situation to find you. And I think when we speak those things in our lives and we position our lives, we allow room. We allow room for God to do his work. We allow room for us to be us. We allow room for the right things to catch up to us. That's why I said the level of discernment. How you do anything is how you do everything. If you're getting into a space where you cannot discern about what it is that you want because you're so focused and you're distracted on something that doesn't want you, my God, can you imagine all what you're leaving on the table? Huh? Your potential, your greatness, your worth, everything that makes you who you are, everything that even gives you your sense of value. Are you putting that by the wayside for something that doesn't deserve you? Now, it doesn't mean that this situation, this person, this circumstances is a bad thing. It just doesn't work with you. Heck, it's like trying to eat soup with chopsticks. Soup can be nutritious, and with the appropriate meal, chopsticks can be useful. But if you're putting them together, what does that say? So what does that say for your life? What are you chasing after? Have you gotten alignment with what it is that you want? Are you understanding that man's rejection is God's protection? I want that for you. I want that for your life. Greatness is upon you. So I say all this because I got to say after myself, I've been distracted lately. Not focused on the things that are right for Dawn. Trying to figure out things rather than letting them flow. Trying to understand why pieces aren't put together rather than looking at the pretty picture that I've already put together and showcasing that. Making more time for things that deserve Dawn. So I just want to share that with you. Okay? Don't force it. Allow whatever is supposed to flow to flow. Make room for things to catch up with you. And more than anything, understand the importance of abundance and manifestation. You can call whatever it is that you want over your life, but understand the power of this manifestation that you're calling the right things. Okay? The things that deserve you. Okay? The things that you don't have to force. Okay? The things that you don't have to chase. The things that allow you to show up and be who you are, as you are, whenever you are, however you are. All the time as you are. Yeah? Okay. Well, I want to share that. And I also want to share, if you'd like to be a guest on the podcast, I want you to send us an email. Tell us your story. Maybe if you have a product, and you can shoot over that email at VitaminD@DawnDaiSpeaks.com. And also, we do advice letters where you write in if you need some advice in your love, relationships, job, career, whatever, however. VitaminD@DawnDaiSpeaks.com. I keep it real. So if you've been listening, you know what the deal is. But know that I'm coming from love and light. Because if you want to be better and you want to do better, you got to be able to see better. And you're coming from my perspective, okay? Also, I want to know, have you checked out our YouTube page? Vitamin D with Dawn Dai. Yes. All of the interviews, some quick doses, snippets, anything that visually can get you inspired. Check it out. Vitamin D with Dawn Dai. Okay? We out here, we're growing. And I can't wait for you to grow with me. Thank you. Thank you. Did I say thank you? And I want to thank you in advance right now. Are you enjoying this? Can you tell somebody that Vitamin D with Dawn Dai is available wherever you get your favorite podcast? Can you tell them that Vitamin D with Dawn Dai is a podcast geared to get you excited about your life so that you can live life on purpose and for a purpose? Can you tell them that Vitamin D with Dawn Dai is here to stay and that Dawn Dai gonna be bigger than Oprah, so you better get familiar now. Hey. Don't believe me? Follow me on social media right now at Dawn Dai Speaks. Come on, ride this journey with me. Let's go, man. Let's go. Okay? All right. Subscribe wherever you get your favorite podcast. You know where to follow me. And then also, if you take anything away, just know I'm in the business of making dreams come true. And I damn sure ain't gonna forget about mine. So until next time, always remember, you are your greatest asset.
Get your vitamin D right here with me and get excited